Hello and welcome to episode 32 of the Crushing Through Life podcast with your hosts Rob and Jim. This is a show of two friends improving our lives through fitness, career, relationships, goals, and daily challenges. Today is August 27th, 2021, and as always, let's begin with today's quote. You don't learn to walk by following the rules. You learn by doing and falling over. And that quote comes from Sir Richard Branson. I guess he's knighted. I didn't realize that. Yeah.
I actually did know that.
Oh, you did? Okay, cool.
Yeah, I just didn't I don't know for how long, but because he's been, I mean, especially with his, all the stuff he's done recently, like
for sure.
It was, yeah.
Richard Branson, who is an English business magnate. Here we go. There's that word again.
Oh, yeah, there we go.
Investor and author. In the 1970s, Richard dropped out of school at the age of 16, which ultimately led to the creation of Virgin Records. That's what I thought when I was 16 years old. Let me start a record company. I stayed in school and did not do that. He later founded the Virgin Group, which today controls more than 400 companies in various fields. His entrepreneurial projects started in the music industry and expanded into other sectors, including the space tourism venture Virgin Galactic, making him a billionaire. Cha-ching. Branson is also known for his adventurous spirit and sporting achievements, including crossing oceans in a hot air balloon. That sounds like a lot of fun. In March,
he's an adventure seeker.
Yeah, I didn't know that about this guy. In March 2000, Branson was knighted. Oh, here we go. In March 2000, Branson was knighted. I've done my research. In March 2000, Branson was knighted at Buckingham Palace for
so just almost 22 years ago.
services to entrepreneurship for his work in retail, music, and transport with interests in land, air, sea, and space travel. His taste for adventure and for his humanitarian work, he has become a prominent global figure. In 2007, he placed in the Time 100 most influential people in the world list. And in July 2021, Forbes listed Branson estimated net worth at $5.7 billion.
So he was on Shark Tank one season, and that's when I found out that he was knighted, because they did the whole like background on him, that kind of thing. He's a really interesting guy. I just thought he's like kind of too nice for the show. And I think he threw water in Mark Cuban's face, which he was like, Mark, you're too mean. Yeah. And then Mark threw it back at him. And I'd like,
oh boy.
At the time, I'd never seen Mark Cuban like upset. It looked like they were actually mad. And I don't know if he's been back on since. Like Cuban would just be like, I own this, so get rid of this guy.
That's amazing. That's amazing. They had him on as like just like a special guest host.
Yeah. So once the later seasons came out, they had him, they had Alex Rodriguez, Ashton Kutcher was on one time. But It's always tough when people are only on for one episode, because I think they try too hard to, be relevant in the filming of it. But if it's not your cup of tea, then just like keep your mouth shut kind of thing. I don't know. We got into it during the beginning of COVID. I think we watched every single season of all the ones that were on Netflix.
Yeah.
He's a really interesting guy. Like pretty cool.
I actually I'm just reading about. I kind of want to like maybe watch a biography about this guy, because or read. I don't know if there's a book or something that like he sounds obviously like a very interesting character. Huge business entrepreneurship. There's Virgin everywhere. There's Virgin Airlines. There's Virgin Mobile Phone. I just read that there is actually like There's a Virgin train company in England. So it's wild, man. There's so many different companies that he's just investing in. And
I think he's actually a genuine guy too. And I think he posted a bunch of stuff about Bezos where he looked like an evil, like he laughs like an evil billionaire.
Yeah.
If that was a laugh of, it would be him.
Yeah.
I think Sir Richard is the opposite of that. But obviously I don't know him firsthand.
But
I think
cool.
like that's the kind of vibe that he gives off when I see him do interviews and, that kind of thing.
Yeah. He's
not a tyrant.
Not a tyrant at all. So we ended up going to the Ontario Science Center.
Right. So that was your fifth one. That was you guys were going to do it
That's right
after we were on the last episode.
Correct. So we went to our last attraction for our Toronto City Pass, and it's something that just recap something that we wanted to do with our son during my week vacation before he starts junior kindergarten, which we're both very excited about. I think I'll be very emotional that day. But we went to go check out the Ontario Science Centre, and it was actually it was a lot of fun. We went there, and it was actually kind of cool to be checking that place out now because it was so empty. And I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, but it was empty. It's
got to be good.
Yeah, it was good for us because we got to roam around. There's lots of space and all that. And I think based on the fact that you have to make reservations at specific times, and they're staggering people in and out because you could spend the whole day there if you wanted to. Right. And there were some camps that kind of trickled in later in the day. We got there pretty early, but it was a ton of fun.
So can I ask then? Sorry to cut you off here. You can get back to, but how many of the 5 did you have to set a reservation for that you wouldn't have in the old days? Because, for instance, I think Jess and I are going to go to the zoo next weekend, and we had to book a reservation. And the zoo was kind of, you just show up whenever and you leave whenever, as far as I was always. But I think it's a COVID thing. So how many of the 5 did you have to do that for?
So we had to do so every single attraction we had to make a reservation for, except for the aquarium. The aquarium we actually just showed up, and it's based on how busy they are. So CN Tower, Casa Loma, the ROM, Science Center, we all had to like make a reservation of a time that we're gonna be there. And I don't know why the aquarium isn't a part of that. They're just like show up, and if it's busy, we'll let you in. And then like some you have to like make a reservation online, some you have to call. Okay. So yeah.
I would have guessed the CN Tower would have been the one that you can't, because it's such a weird timing. Like that's a lot of work to time up, how many people can go up and down the elevator and whatever. That seems like a very like we're at capacity right now. 100%. Sorry, you have to wait 20 minutes or.
Yeah, we actually were an hour late at our scheduled reservation time, and 2 families in front of us were in the line because we call it City Pass. We my wife Terry and I we were up late the night before. We ended up sleeping in the morning, and we're just like rushing to gather to get to our scheduled time, and I told her, like, you know what, we're gonna be late. I got to call City Pass, maybe schedule from their day. And I called City Pass and like, no, just go, keep going, just keep moving, and then you'll be fine. They'll accommodate you. I'm like, okay, sweet, perfect, that's awesome. Wasn't like speeding down to get there. But yeah, the 2 family in front of us. There's a family 2 in front of us in the line, and they had their ticket. They got up to the gate, and they were 2 hours early. And she was like, "You're at 2:30. Like you got to wait 2 hours. Like they didn't let them in, right? Like you're way too early." And I guess like something failed or whatever, or they didn't care and they just tried it. But they waited in line for all this time. The line was massive.
Yeah.
Right. And they waited in line, and they were early, and then they got to the gate 2 hours early, and they just turned away. And I'm like looking at the guy's face, and I'm like, oh my God.
You're not getting in, is what I
that's what I was thinking. I'm like, we're an hour late. We're not getting in. But we ended up getting up to the front, and like right away I was like, sorry, we're an hour late. We're supposed to be at this time. We're rushing to get down here. And she kind of sighed, and like I bring my son up to the front.
Well
like,
done.
Right in front of him. Like,
this little rub his shoulders.
Yeah, this little guy. And she's like, all right, go ahead.
Nice. Well done. Well played.
You gotta pull that. You gotta pull the puppy dog eyes every once in a while. But yeah, Ontario Science Center.
But it's my birthday, Daddy.
Right. Yeah. Ontario Science Center was a ton of fun. He loved it. Had a great time.
What was his favorite part?
The elevator. The elevator at the IMAX.
I don't know why I didn't ask.
And I'll tell you why the elevator at the IMAX is his favorite part, because it's see-through and you can see like the mechanics and the gears, very nice. The pulley. So that he loved that. There was also a part. There was also an attraction where like you put this piece of paper in like the kids' science center, and you put it in this like tube that's blowing wind, and it shoots up all the way to the top of the ceiling, and then it just comes down. So he kept doing that for like hours.
Oh yeah,
hours. He loved that. Just loved playing with his paper.
That's cool. Thing. What was your favorite part?
My favorite part. Let's see.
Because like I haven't been there in forever, so I wouldn't even know. Besides some of the like, I remember there was a lot of the sports stuff I remember, but I don't remember too much. I
would say the hair standing thing. Like,
oh, that's a classic.
That's a classic. My son and my wife did it. I just stood there and took a video, but like watching because my wife like my wife's hair like went huge, right? Terry's hair went massive. Nico actually he wanted to do it by himself. He was like, "Do you want us to go up there with you?" And he's like, "No, I want to do it by myself." And he was kind of like touching and kind of like backing up a little bit. It's like, keep your hand there, buddy. So he loved it. He had a great time. So seeing both their faces doing it together was pretty cool. But we also checked out the this is pretty funny. So my son's a big fan of numbers. He loves numbers and loves counting numbers and all that. Huge fan. And in the Life Center at this Ontario Science Center, there's like a birth and life cycle, the sperm and the egg and all that, and pregnancy and all that. And there's actually this little like sperm counter. So as you start, like you turn this knob and you add more sperm to different levels to try to reach the egg, and it tells you how much sperm is required to fertilize an egg. Wild attraction, obviously. But he loved it because you spun this little dial, and the numbers are like going in the thousands, right? And
that's all he cares about.
That's all he cares about. He's just watching this number, and obviously the lights are going up between different stages, right?
Yeah.
And we were trying to pull him away from this attraction because he was there for like 20 minutes, and it was like, "All right, buddy, there's lots to see. Come on." And he started freaking out because he didn't want to leave, and I had to take a video of it. So I was like, "All right, 5 more minutes," and then I ended up recording it on my phone. It's just so funny, man.
Yeah, that's awesome.
There's one point where he was spinning it, and it didn't reach the egg. I'm like, "Congratulations, man! You are not the father." I can't wait to watch. I can't wait to show him this stuff when he's older. It's gonna be hilarious.
Oh, that's a keeper. That one, yeah,
100%. So Ontario Science Center was a ton of fun. Oh, the rainforest is pretty sick. There's like a rainforest at the bottom. You can like walk
how new
through.
Is that?
It's not that new. No, it's not that. I mean, I checked that when I was a kid, but I was like checking out the rainforest. It was really cool to walk through.
I don't remember, but I don't know. It's tough. Maybe there's like a YouTube I can watch of people just going through it and
you have this big blow up orb right when you walk in, like huge, massive blow up orb, and then like they project like Earth on it, and like
Mars. Right when you walk in the entrance. Right?
Yeah. Mars and the sun. That's really cool. That's a really cool eye opener as soon as you get in. But a lot of the stuff was kind of like. And I think this is pretty common. Recently, my wife mentioned on a bunch of Facebook mom groups that like the Ontario Science Center is it's in repair. Like a lot of the attractions are just broken or they're old and it needs to be updated. I don't know if they just don't have the money to replace or fix the things that are broken. But yeah, it's definitely interesting.
I guess I don't know. It's kind of interesting that one would totally succeed over the ROM. Or sorry, that the ROM would just crush over the Science Center because they're very similar kind of ideas. I mean, obviously, one's history, but one's supposed to be current, or the evolution of certain fields of science, anyways.
Right.
But I mean, like I remember going there on field trips as kids. Like even I don't know about it in high school, but for sure elementary school. Like we got to see some really cool IMAX. I remember part of the reason I was so into film when I was younger was we got to see behind the scenes of how movies did their explosions. Like it was, they showed Independence Day and making the model and like actually blowing up the model on that big IMAX, and then there was one where we did learned about roller coasters.
Okay.
And at the end, you actually, it's like you're seated in a roller coaster and you go down. So. Some pretty cool things that I remember, but a lot of it had to do with the IMAX theater, not so much the actual attractions themselves.
What's cool about the IMAX theater at the Ontario Science Center is that it's just glass, right? You can look through and look in the projection room and check out how it all works. So that was really cool.
Yeah.
Do you remember that the first time you seen an IMAX movie, like the first time you walked into an IMAX theater?
It would have been that one.
Would have been the Ontario Science Center. Okay,
Yeah.
so like they played a movie for you when you were a kid.
Well, they had these like, 20-minute short documentaries or like how it's made kind of thing, and they were designed to bring, I guess, revenue in for students on a field trip where
Right.
It's a learning thing. So you go in there and you can pump them out because they're 20 minutes a piece, and how many classes can you fit because the place is huge.
Yeah.
If you mean like an actual movie in IMAX, like a film that I would have paid for, I don't know how long they've been around. It's like maybe Spider-Man with Tobey Maguire, but I don't know if they would have been around back then.
Yeah.
Like I'm trying to think of like big movies, right? Like obviously Avatar, Dark Knight for sure would have been IMAX, I think. I don't know. What about you?
I can't remember, but I would say for sure it must be the Ontario Science Center. But I do recall the first time seeing IMAX at like the Colossus in Vaughan in Ontario.
Yeah, because that was the first one.
And like seeing like the 3D. I remember like the 3D projection intro of like demoing the IMAX theater room. And, like the speakers are located here and here, and and there's just music playing, and all these lasers are going off. Like I loved that. When I first saw that, I was like, I'm so happy right now. This is freaking amazing. And every time I go
elevator.
Yeah. And every time
version of the elevator growing
Yeah, my version of the elevator for my son, like for me, is the IMAX intro and fireworks for sure. I love fireworks.
Yeah.
But yeah, and it's funny thinking about back. I remember checking out like the movie 300 with my brother at IMAX, and we were both just stoked just to like obviously watch the movie, but like also for the IMAX intro, we were like really excited. We always loved it together.
Right.
So that's always fun. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's a good day, good trip.
Yeah. It was great. And it was nice to cap it all off. Obviously back to work now. Funny enough, actually I should mention we were originally planning on going Sunday, and it got postponed to Wednesday because I got called into work for like an emergency thing that failed, and I was the only one able to fix it, so I had to like work on this issue for 3 hours. But he, like my son, I was worried that my son was going to freak out because he was looking forward to going to the science center, and he was fine with it, no big deal. He knows daddy's got to work on a call and whatever. I ended up fixing the problem. We ended up going to my dad's for a swim, and then like my company, they're amazing. They're in terms of like being a life balance relationship with your family, and they're very much family first and all that. They said no problem. Like you just schedule it for Wednesday, and if you lose out on your chance to use your ticket, then we'll just reimburse you. No, not a big deal if you want to buy tickets
That's
again.
nice.
So that was nice. So it was actually kind of nice. Like I ended up breaking the week through Wednesday.
Right. Yeah.
But now back to work, and we're getting ready for a friend's wedding on Saturday tomorrow. Yeah.
It is going to be a blast, I think. And I haven't seen you in, I guess, probably a couple of months, right? Since June.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's been a couple of months. Yeah.
But you're one of the friends I've seen, I guess a couple times. Maybe not. Yeah, well, like the last time I think we spoke was at the cottage. Was that it? Right. So
the last time we saw each other?
Yeah, not the golf. It would have been the cottage last summer.
Oh, before that. Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
So, I mean, there's people I haven't seen since that day, which is now over a year ago, right? So it's gonna be awesome. Plus, I don't know why I used to hate weddings when I was younger. Mm-hmm. I love weddings now, but however, when I was younger, if you can't drink and you kind of leave early. Like now, it's first of all, I get to watch a close friend of ours, literally experience the happiest day of his life. Hopefully, you have an awesome meal with usually other good friends, if it's that kind of wedding.
Right.
And you have drinks and you catch up with people and then part of it too was I think when I was younger, I was so self-conscious about dancing, and now I just don't give a shit. Yeah. And, I have a blast on the dance floor afterwards.
Yeah.
And all those things together now, like I look forward to weddings. Jess and I had 7 weddings one summer. It was amazing.
Oh, wow.
I mean, it's expensive, but
yeah.
like we had hotels and, like whatever. But so what are you ready to go?
We're pretty much ready to go here. But I did run into a bit of an issue that I'm happy I worked on early because I knew this was going to be a problem. I had to get my suit dry cleaned, right?
Okay. Yeah.
So I go get my suit, can't find my suit. Where the hell's my suit? Terry goes to me. She's like, "You threw out your suit because you lost 50 pounds and you donated it. Or don't you remember?" I'm like, "Oh my God,
man!" And when did this conversation occur?
This was 6 days ago.
Oh boy, it could have been worse. I guess
it was like a blue suit. Like I remember this last year. Like I put it on, and it was just like huge, and I was like, it doesn't fit me anymore.
And let's hold on. Let's look at the positives. Like you lost 50 pounds, which is amazing. So, good for you. And you donated it. Also good for you. So
thanks, buddy.
Although you're, I'm waiting to hear how this ends, but like the fact that you need a new one is a, testament to your work ethic.
So I did have another suit, right?
Okay.
That I typically don't wear. It was a 3-piece suit. It's a really nice suit. And it was in my closet, and I got it actually after my wedding because it was a gift from Moore's for using them for like my groomsmen and all that. They gave me a free suit. So I tried it on, and it was still way too small. And I remember trying it on last year, and it fit, but I gained, I would say, 15 pounds since last year. Okay. So have been on a slight incline recently, very slow, but I'm still kind of keeping it, not full depression, going back to gaining those 50 pounds, but I still can fit in that suit. So I was like, I am screwed, right? How am I getting a suit before Saturday? Not like a Terry.
I guess you could rent.
She's like, well, you can just do dress pants and a dress shirt and you'll be fine. Like, no big deal. I'm like, yeah, but I mean, the one time you wear a suit, I would love to wear a suit at a wedding, right? Like, I'm probably going to wear the jacket for like an hour and then take it off because it's going to be so hot. But I would love to have. I like to look nice.
It's actually, what's the weather going to be like? I wonder if
I don't know. It's probably going to be stupid hot. I'm probably not even going to wear the suit.
Like every day is like a million degrees. Like I think it was like the hottest day in record for Ontario this week.
Right. So I mean, obviously, I'm on a track record. Like internally, I'm motivated to continue to lose weight and get back to where I was last year, which was 187. That was my lowest last year. I was pretty proud of that number. But I want to at least maintain that number in that area. But I didn't want to buy a $700 suit.
$600 suit. Come on.
I was waiting for you to say it. The man in the $1,000 suit. It's going to hold the door open.
The man holding the elevator. That's from Arrest Development. For those of you who do not know, there's a good scene.
Arrest Development, great show. But yeah, so I'm like, all right, you know what? I'm gonna go to Value Village. I know there's suits there. It's gonna be a crapshoot. But I've donated a suit at Value Village, and maybe I'll find that exact same suit or better. Chilling on the rack. Yeah. No, it wasn't still there. But anyways, I went through all the suits, and it took me a long ass time to find something that fit. Then nothing.
You did find one.
Nothing fit, but I ended up going to a different Value Village, and in there, there was no Value Village is like a donation clothing center. You donate clothes and they sell it for a cheaper price for people. So, but they sell the suits for like $30, right? So if I just need a amazing. cheap suit for a short period of time,
cheap.
$30.
Yeah.
I ended up finding one at the Value Village in Vaughan, and it was the only one suit that fit me, and it was in perfect mint condition. There's like nothing wrong with it, and it doesn't even need to be dry.
Is the waist? Let's go in.
That's exactly what I said when I tried it on.
Did you?
What size is the waist? Let's go in. I should have taken a video and sent you that. That's for those who don't know. That's from Rush Hour 2.
Oh man,
yeah.
There's so
a lot of references in this show.
So many good suit related lines.
Anyways, I tried it on, fit perfectly. I was like, oh, thank God I got something. So I ended up buying it.
What color?
It's like a dark gold color, dark brownish gold color. I'm gonna wear it with like a dark blue shirt. It's gonna look nice. It's gonna look nice.
All right.
I have a tie for it, but I don't have a pocket square. I like to have a pocket square. I like to be classic like that. I like to match a pocket square with a tie.
It looks nice.
Look at Amazon. Can't find anything that's going to be delivered in time. This is all last minute. Just message
our friends. Someone's got to have an extra pocket square. I might have a couple extra ones.
Actually, if you do, yeah, okay, we'll talk after the show.
I'll see. I'll see what I can come up with.
We'll see what you can do. But yeah, like it, like my tie is like a dark blue, like paisley gold. It's hard to match a pocket square, right? So there's nothing at the Valley Village. So I ended up going to my local mall, which is Yorkdale. And Yorkdale is like pretty much Rodeo Drive in Toronto.
It's quite nice there now, yeah.
Oh, it is
actually
nice.
South of Jefferson, it's called Rodeo.
There's nothing more like feeling poor than going to Yorkdale Mall, let me tell you.
When they have the cars just like ready to, and every car is, six figures or then it's the newest model.
Yeah.
It's nice to go in there and dream.
Yeah.
I haven't been there in a long time. COVID kind of slowed that down, but I think I went in there. I think I got my wedding suit from Yorkdale.
Oh, nice. It's a very nice place. Don't get me wrong. Like it's gorgeous. Love shopping there, but it made me feel so gross, man, because I can't afford any of this. I look at so I look at my phone. Pocket Square, Yorkdale Mall. What's available? Holt Renfrew comes up. I'm like, the hell is that? Never heard of Holt Renfrew. Never heard of it. Never been there before in my life.
It's not going to be cheap.
Not going to be cheap. Yeah. I walked in there, saw a lot of bougie stores.
Yeah.
Right? And I walked beside a sweater that's $1,900. And I'm like, I'm in the wrong area. I can't afford any of this. And I end up walking around more. And there's one shirt that said like something with like a statement and like no logo or like logo here or something like that. And that shirt was $1,500. I'm like, I got to get out of the store. This is gross.
That's insane. I just don't understand. I'll never understand it that someone would pay that much. When like
for sweater, man.
The brand that did it for me, I guess, was called Supreme, kind of. So like when I was managing the lids, a lot of the guys there were a little bit younger than me, and they were like, "Oh, that dude's wearing Supreme jeans. Like those cost $250 a pair."
Right.
And like when I find my black standard pair of Levi's and they're on sale for like $42, I buy two of them because I'm like, this is the greatest deal. If they were any more money, like I don't even buy them when they're full price. I don't understand. Like, do you want to wear a name brand thing? It doesn't make your ass look any better, or maybe it does, but how could something be worth so much more money? Just because you have it doesn't mean like, I don't know. I don't get it. Anyway,
people, I mean, to be the devil advocate, people value different things, right? And this is actually a side story here. This is actually a great tangent. I have a Velcro wallet that I purchased back in 2003. Can you guess what it says in that wallet?
Spitfire?
No, it's Tool. I have a Tool Velcro wallet that came out during their Lateralis era. And it was in my office drawer. I've never used the wallet because it's Velcro, but it said Tool on it. So I bought it for like $10 from HMV in 2003 when that album came out. Because I was a kid.
The band saw 1 penny of royalties for that.
I ended up joining this Tool. It's called this Facebook group called Tool Loot, and there's like thousands of people on it, and they sell merchandise, Tool merchandise. They resell it. I ended up listing this wallet for $60 Canadian, which I didn't think anyone would buy, and I had 5 offers.
Oh my god! Maybe it's because of the you can't.
I was like, I should have listed this for $200.
Hey, this isn't a pair of Supreme jeans, man.
Yeah. Dude, it was a Velcro wallet. It was like, it's just shitty little kitty Velcro wallet.
But it's almost like a gimmick at that point, and it does say Tool on it.
Right.
You know, so
well, I mean, people just, they collect certain things. Like I have a Tool. This is just
fill in the blank. I'm sure you do.
Tool, DVD, right? I bought it for $100. And the reason why I bought it for $100 is because I know that it was going to go only up in value at the time that it was, it got re-released. They released more stock in 2014. It's now, the DVD is now valued. I never opened it. Now up to $500. So I made money on it. But I don't think I'll ever sell it because I'm a fan, right? So I don't know.
So that was going to be my question is like, you should have bought two for one to stock and one to keep for yourself as a fan, right?
Yeah, I should have at that price. Anyway.
Yeah, but you can't be thinking about that.
People value ridiculous things, but regardless of all of that,
so anyway, we're on the back of the pocket square.
Going back to the clothing in general, even if I was a millionaire, right? Even if I was Richard Branson, I don't think I would go to a store and buy a $1,900 sweater.
Right.
I wouldn't buy it.
Yeah, you wouldn't ridiculous. See me. I don't get, like, you know what? I could picture having some like really nice suits, some $6,300 suits.
Yeah. I would. You know what? If I was Richard Branson, I would drop a few G's on a nice suit, a really nice tailored suit.
My top tier stuff would be like, again, suits, especially if you wear them all the time. I guess maybe I would actually go down in price and have some like really baller ones for weddings and, special occasions, knighthoods and things like that, that he's going to, that I'm not privy to at this time. But I don't think I would differ to, like, I think I like the way that my jeans fit. I like the way that my, blank t-shirts, or like, I like wearing player tees from NHL players in baseball. Like, I'm not buying, I could picture I did buy every single baseball hat and then some, and I wasn't a millionaire. So I could picture getting into collections and stuff. But I mean, for my actual day-to-day fashion, I wouldn't be, out there. I see people on Instagram and they're like wearing $10,000 watches. Yeah. To just go to the club in, and like, someone's just going to rip that off your arm.
Not at the clubs that they go to.
Maybe, I don't know.
They only allow certain people in those clubs.
But
you're telling me, Jimmy, if you were a millionaire, you wouldn't just go to a club rocking Fendi?
Absolutely not.
I beg to differ. You'd be dressed to the nines, Fendi.
So you know what? That's a long-standing joke from actually Rob's bachelor party, where we saw the star. I'd never even heard of Fendi then. I honestly couldn't tell you what their brand, is known for, I guess, besides high-end.
It's just
stuff,
high fashion. It's all high fashion stuff. High fashion is like a whole other topic, man. Oh man, crazy world for sure. Derelict.
Yeah. But like, I don't know, $1,000 is pretty nuts. Like, that's like, if you're spending actually like I don't know. Anyways, it's too much money for me. Finish the pocket square. Anyways, I gotta know. I'm dying to know what happened.
All right. Well, anyways, I did not end up purchasing a pocket square. I couldn't find one in that mall. And I was looking on Amazon. I was trying to find stuff for like 1 day delivery. Nothing was matching in terms of color, right? Because I'm looking for a certain color to match my tie. Yeah.
That's where I don't think I'll be able to help you out, honestly. Because mine are all just going to be generic, like black, white.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. But yeah, so I didn't end up buying anything, but I did find a really cool pair of socks from the Bay that I really love. And it's an astronaut golfing on the moon. And it's by this company called Yo Socks.
Send me. I might have these exact socks.
Okay, I'll send the picture to you later. But like, it's so cool.
So I have something at least similar to that, and I think they're Yo Socks, but I bet you yours are new because mine probably 2-3 years old, or like 2 years old.
Yeah. I'm just trying to pull them up to you.
I would assume they would.
Here, I just sent it to you on WhatsApp. So those are the socks. But anyways, they're so cool. So I bought them instantly, and then everything I was trying to find, it was like, our pocket squares range between like $50 and $79. I'm like, forget it. I'm out of here.
Yeah, I have those ones.
You have those ones?
Yeah.
You want to be matched together? Wear the same socks tomorrow?
I don't know if they're clean. I'll have to find out.
Yeah,
Sock buddies.
So sock buddies. So Yo Socks, I saw that and like they have these really cool, funny like little character on their socks, and I'm a fan of this company now. I saw that and I was like, this is awesome.
I have so many of their pairs. I love those.
Oh,
socks.
really? Oh, that's awesome.
They have like stuff like that. They also have just regular, patterned socks or just all one uniform color, boring kind of ones. But yeah. They're nice, and they feel good, and they're actually, I've had them for a couple of years.
Right.
But I like socks are one thing that I could get for Christmas for the rest of my life. Mm-hmm. It's like my favorite thing to get. So I do have a lot of pairs. Not really too much wear and tear on them, but I can say that they've stood the test of time so far.
Right.
So let me ask you this: your hair, you going? You cleaning it up, or
I can't wait.
What's happening with
the past year and a half
thing that's on top of your head?
I know, right? Like, look at this. It's just honestly, it's a mess. It's a mess.
It's not really a mess. It's just long.
Yeah.
For those of you listening, it's long. It's quite long.
It's long.
Yeah.
I got the grays coming out.
It needs a tidy.
It needs a tidy. My wife is. Bless her soul, has been doing my hair for the past year and a half, and she's been saving me so much money. I told her, I was like, you know what? It's a wedding. I don't take any offense to this, but I would like to get my hair professionally done. She's like, yeah, no problem. Go for it. So I ended up booking a haircut tomorrow. And I'm really excited for that. That's at 3:00. And I haven't had a nice going to like an old school Italian barbershop in my area. So apparently it's highly rated. Hopefully they do a good job. And
dude, you got to be even money to be late for this wedding. The odds might actually be on whether or not you're going to be early.
That's
and
why
the time switched, right? It switched from 7:30 and now it's 7:00.
I saw the time switch. Okay.
Well, for those of you who don't know as well, Rob has at least been late to 2 weddings that I know of that I was there for. And the door was so loud at the one wedding in Oak Ridges. It was like the big wooden church door.
It's totally our fault. Like I'm not blaming anyone. It's totally our fault. But like we had to check into like our reasoning was like we had a baby. We did bring it to the babysitter. We had to check into our friggin' Airbnb.
A lot of excuses.
Blah, blah, blah. Wait for a taxi, the Uber. All these delays.
Excuses. Anyway, so yeah, you're doing a haircut.
We won't be late this time, I promise.
Are you? So those Italian barbers, have you ever had the straight razor shave? Have you ever done one of those?
It's glorious.
I've never done it.
I would recommend it. I wouldn't do it now because I got a beard. I just do it myself. Right. But I have done the clean shaven with the Italian barber, the knife, and all that, and it's just a great, like the hot towel and on the face. It's amazing.
There's a scene in season 1 of Boardwalk Empire that I always picture, and like it's kind of like The Godfather, where they murder everybody at the end of the first movie, right, where it's all like one big montage, right? As Michael's saying, like, do you reject Satan? Do you renounce all of the...
No spoilers.
Yeah, I won't tell you what he says. But there's a scene in Boardwalk Empire where the guy's getting a straight razor shave and he does not make it out of it. And I always just picture, like lying so vulnerable, like literally with a knife to your throat. It's like, it would make me uncomfortable, I think. But everyone I've asked has always been like, you should try this at some point.
Yeah, that actually reminds me of Sweeney Todd. That musical with
Johnny
Depp and
Helena Bonham Carter.
I always mess up her name.
If you say it faster, it sounds Helena Bonham Carter. Actually, which reminds me, speaking of movies, you said you finally watched Jaws. How was that?
Oh, that's right. That was honestly I had a great time watching that movie. That movie's amazing. Movie. Yeah. It's such a fun movie, and it's kind of funny watching it now because obviously it was filmed in the 70s, but like I can see Steven's like cinematography and his cutting and his editing. Like I really appreciate his skill set for that time because it was really cool. Like the shots that he got whenever that was filmed are beautiful. right? They're it's really well put together. I think it was 76. I don't know for sure.
And when you look at 1975.
I was close.
Yeah, well done. And when you look back at so the technology of the Megalodon came out, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago, like the newest shark thriller.
Right.
And it's kind of funny to me because I see all these new ones and the sharks, at some point they look real and then sometimes they don't. And the cool thing about Jaws was that, he didn't have the technology. So the scariest part about Jaws is that you didn't know where the shark was. And it's kind of this thing of your imagination is worse, and then finally, obviously you see the shark. I always think of Jaws as almost like two different movies. There's the first half with the whole city and stuff. And then there's the second half where they're all out on the boat trying to actually, capture or kill Jaws. And it's like two separate whole things.
Yeah.
But it's such a, I don't know. It's fun now that I'm older, but yeah, like I've said before, I don't swim honestly without thinking Jaws is out there.
The one jump scare
under the water.
That freaked me out.
My mom
was awesome.
said she watched, I think, Jaws maybe in the theater, and that was the biggest scare. That was one of the biggest jump scare moments that, I bet you if she listed one, she would list that one as, the number one that she'll still think about.
Terry's mother said the exact same thing about that particular scene. Her mother so Terry's dad and mom went to go see that in the theaters, and when it came out and that jump scare happened, and Terry's dad freaked out and held on to Jean, Terry's mom, and Terry was talking about how I finally saw Jaws, and Terry's mom Jean, she's like, did he grab your arm like your dad did to me during that jump scene?
Yeah,
but that was pretty freaky. The worst part was the nails in the chalkboard for me. That was horrible.
So actually, my dad said, I think it was on TV or something, and he waits for that scene because it's so, they've used it so many times. Like The Simpsons has used it, and it's a very iconic scene in that movie.
Yeah. At the end of the movie, I felt so good at the end of that movie. Like a big relief? Like a huge relief. I jumped for joy, and that's when that happened. I mean, I don't want to ruin the movie for anybody.
Yeah, I mean, the movie is from 1975.
I know, right? We're talking about ruining The Godfather earlier.
Yeah, let's not spoil Godfather or Jaws.
Hey, man, I haven't seen it until recently. But yeah, the ending was very satisfactory to me.
I have bad news for you, buddy. There's a Jaws 2.
Yeah. I asked her, I was like, is there a Jaws 2? She's like, yeah, I think there is. So I'll have to grab Jaws 2 as well.
Same main character.
Okay.
And his family again.
All right. Okay.
So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there a Jaws 3? There isn't. No.
I believe there's even a fourth one, but the fourth one's called Jaws Resurrection or something.
Okay. Just gets shittier over time.
Yeah. Yeah. It wasn't like the fourth Jurassic Park. That's, Fair Jurassic enough. World was pretty good, I thought. Let's not go down that road tonight. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the wedding, man. Like I said, it's been a long time since seeing people. It should be fun. I'm kind of curious, I haven't really been, I'm kind of curious how it'll be. Besides going to a Jays game and Arkell's, I haven't been in a social situation. In those things, you're with the people that you went with and you're not really talking to other people. Mm-hmm. And it's it's supposed to be all masks the entire time. So I'm curious how this is going to work. Jess went to a bridal shower and she said it was a big circular table, but where the seating was everyone was across from each other. So it was 4 points on what would have been an 8-person or 10-person table. And there's only 4 people. So I wonder if how it's going to be spaced or.
I think it'll be probably less people at a table, but dude, honestly, it might be a little bit more open than you think. I don't think people are going to be in mass, maybe when they're walking around, maybe going to the washroom, but when they're eating, I think the table is going to be en masse. I don't know.
Have you been, if you've been to a restaurant, you wear the mask till you get to your table, then you take it off. And so to be that's what I'm picturing. But I guess I'm curious, dancing, going to the bar to order a drink.
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
So, but my wife and I are very excited because we finally have a night out. right?
Right.
And as I mentioned earlier, my parents are going to be babysitting, and we told them that we're going to be picking them up later in the afternoon so we can sleep in.
On Sunday.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And the wedding venue is 10 minutes down the road from our house, so we're very happy about all this.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah. So other news, we bought a new patio set. Okay. We ended up getting rid of our patio set in our concrete patio that we have out front.
Just the front one.
We wanted to get a love seat and a couple of chairs and a coffee table. We found a great deal on Facebook. It was $100. I got there, and the patio set was covered in wasps. And the guy was like, "Oh, hold on 1 second. Let me just get rid of these wasps for you." And he just sprays Raid all over the patio set that I'm buying. And he's like, "Yeah, I just cut my grapevines. I have grapevines." He's got grapevines hanging above the the patio set. Mm-hmm. And I just these wasps started coming out after the storm. And I'm like, "Oh my God." And I'm looking at the cushions. The cushions are in rough shape. They're okay. But the furniture was really good. So I was like, okay, you know what? I'll still buy it. The furniture was really sturdy. I'll buy new cushions next year. It's almost the end of the summer anyway. But it was such a good deal for this 4-piece patio set with a table for $100, and it was
and
2 love
seats. Down there?
All fits down there.
Perfect.
It looks way more comfortable, to be honest. And just go out there and you can enjoy a coffee in the morning, whatever, right? So I ended up purchasing it, but I had to take it apart to fit it all in my Kia, which luckily I still have, and I haven't sold it yet.
Here we go.
Yeah. So.
Oh man! And after you got it detailed too, this is exactly what I believe I said. It's you should not be driving this thing at all.
Dude, I laid carpet down head to toe, blankets everywhere, no drinks at all. Didn't spill anything. It was good. I did a great job. But it was a pain in the ass because I had to dismantle everything to fit it, right? I did use an Allen key to take it all. It all fit, but I had to dismantle it in this guy's backyard, and it took me an hour and a half. Drove it over there. This is in rush hour, right after 5 o'clock. Bring it back. When'd you get it? So I left right after work, 5 o'clock. Got there at 5:40. Got home at 7. Oh, this is all yesterday. Yesterday. Got home at 7. Cleaned up my patio. Got rid of my old patio furniture. Swept. Sprayed it down. Sprayed down the patio equipment. And pretty much just try to clean up as much as possible, right? Mm-hmm. And I put it all together, and these Allen keys are such a pain in the ass, but I ended up working from 5 to 11:30. So I'm sore as all hell, man. Putting this patio.
Damn, that's a long time.
Yeah, it was a long time for sure. But after that, I was like, I need a little treat. I ended up going to McDonald's.
Oh yeah,
at midnight last night. And
what did you pick up?
I picked up a poutine and McDouble, which was an offer on the mobile app for $6. And then I got a nice mango pineapple smoothie, which was really good. Really good.
Never ordered a smoothie from McDonald's.
I highly recommend that smoothie. It's delicious. I don't know if you have a sweet tooth for that, but it's awesome.
Nah, it took me forever. I literally worked next to a Booster Juice for 3 years, and I didn't get into them until far too late, or depending on my wallet, in the right amount of time, I guess.
Funny enough, I'm looking through all the stuff in the McDonald's app, and all these calories are obviously on each item, and I'm like, I want a McFlurry. Look at the calories for the McFlurry. I'm like, let's get something a little bit more healthier. And I'm going for the smoothie option, which is only 200 calories. And then remind me about we have this machine called the Yonanas. You know what a Yonanas is? You ever heard of that?
No, I'm not familiar.
So Yonanas is pretty much a device where you can put frozen bananas in and other frozen fruit and make your own ice cream essentially.
Oh, and Jess would love that actually.
Yeah, check out Yonanas. I'll send her a message later about it, and it's a really good if you have an ice cream craving and you want something a little bit healthier, it's awesome. Just frozen fruit. It's delicious. Highly recommend the Yonanas.
Yeah, she does. We have, I don't know, some sort of a blender kind of thing, and she does put frozen yogurt in there with some fruits and vegetables, and makes her own kind of smoothie. But it's so thick that she kind of eats it like ice cream. So it's probably something like that. But yeah, I know she'd be into it.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, for sure. But I'll tell you, man, like after this week of vacation time and going out everywhere and eating out a lot, and like I mentioned, the fact that I've gained weight after this wedding, I'm going nuts, hardcore into the rice and beans, working out. Like I want to get back to where I was last year. So
we could potentially try to do a September.
I would love to do a September challenge. I need a little bit of a challenge. Yes. Because
I'm, the last 2 weeks I've been trying to do 5 workouts minimum, like 1 through every weekday. This week I did 1 except for Wednesday, which I'm, disappointed in. But I worked out Monday and then I golfed and walked a tough course, 18 holes. It was like, I don't know, 13 kilometers or something. And then on Tuesday I worked out and I golfed again. And it was like another, like I took a cart that day. So it was 12,000 steps. I took Wednesday off. Then I went Thursday and I did Friday again. Tomorrow I'm hoping to hit some high numbers on the dance floor. But
I'll be right beside you.
Yeah, exactly. So but I'm down and I feel like my body feels sore because I usually try to do Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or Monday, Thursday, Friday, something like that, and give myself some time to rest. But now that I'm doing it every day, I can definitely feel it. And my workouts are limited because I do all body weight and my wrist is still bothering me. I have my consultation with the wrist expert on September 30th. So, it's still a month away. It's crazy that this is now like 9 full months since Christmas.
Yeah, right.
But I'm hoping this guy will, whatever they have to do to get the fluid out of there, whether it's, hopefully not operate, but they can just jab something and withdraw it, I think was the first option that they tried to do.
Sure. Just relieve the pain, the pressure.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Actually, so I guess I got some new glasses, which I'll show you tomorrow. It's very, very nice. I haven't had a new pair of glasses in maybe. Man,
I haven't seen you wear glasses in a while.
Well, I use them for distance. I don't actually need them to drive a car. I asked the guy, legally how my eyes, and he's like, "You're fine if you can read that." Most people use them. They just prefer the enhancement at night, especially, which I'll admit that I really do. But we haven't really been driving a car. Right. At all, so it's not really relevant. But and on top of that, I ordered an eBay off of Amazon Banjo-Kazooie for N64. I don't know why I always loved that game.
Oh my god, amazing!
But so that came in this week, and Jess has been going to bed relatively earlier because she's had early mornings. She also deals with the Amazon Italy team, so she deals with the West Coast of North America. And now she's dealing with Europe. So she's been getting, she has to wake up at 7 o'clock. So she's going to bed early and I get some Banjo-Kazooie time in there.
There you go.
Which is nice. It's so cool to play those like old nostalgic games. And it's a 1-player too. So it's not like one that we can do together. Yeah. So it is nice to do. But I mean, that's kind of been it for me, man. Trying to stick to my new workout regimen, golfing a bunch and some new glasses. So,
oh boy.
Yeah, I'll show you tomorrow.
All right. Sweet. Well, I guess we'll wrap it up here. Buddy. Thank you so much. Well, I guess everybody, thank you so much for listening to our podcast.
You are welcome.
Yeah. This has been episode 32 of Crushing Through Life. If you enjoy our show and would like to follow us for more at linktree.com/crushing through life. You'll check us out on all of our socials. Go on YouTube, check us out at Crushing Through Life. And if you have any comments or questions, let us know.
We'll snap a pic.
I feel I could have done that way better, but anyways.
We'll snap a pic for those of you following us of maybe our matching socks, but definitely us in the suits.
Oh, sweet. Love it. All right, man. Have a good one.
Till next.
Take care. Bye.